Good morning, all. It's, I think what's today, Thursday or Friday? Friday, wow. So good morning, all. Welcome to our Friday morning over the lake here. We're in southern Missouri. Can't even remember the name of the park. We kind of just decided to camp even though it said no camping, and it worked out pretty well. It's pretty overcast and gray and dreary here this morning, but we're hoping the weather burns off a little bit. Last night we got at least 4 inches of rain set in right around 7 o'clock, right as we were setting up camp, and I had my little jet boil sitting out here on the ground where we were starting to prepare dinner, and we ended up setting up a tarp and hiding out under the rain for a little while over there. And this was sitting on the ground over here, just like this, with the lid on it, parked in the grass right here. And when I got up this morning, it was full up to this mark. So that's at least 4 inches of rain right there with the lid on. So yeah, it was a pretty good downpour last night. It lit up around 11:30 or so. Closer to midnight, we had a bunch of drunken teenage kids a little further around the point here, and they were partying and having a blast and riding a four-wheeler or something, and we heard them packing up and doing their wahoos, and they started blasting down this trail about midnight, heading right for us. I thought, oh, we might have a problem, but they apparently saw our bikes and tents and hit the brakes and turned around and went back the other way. Yeah, so here's one of the dinner pots full of water from overnight. Another 4 inches of rain there at least. Anyway, now we're trying to dry out our gear. There's a little bit of a breeze this morning, so we got all the clothes, wet clothes and jackets and stuff hanging over the bikes to air out a little bit. Hopefully the rain will hold off and let us get our gear packed up before it decides to dump on us again. Got a lot of early morning fishermen out here that were out before dawn. We started hearing the boats running before it was even light out. Nice area though. Anyway, we're gonna heat up some water for coffee and oatmeal and try to get our day started. We got about, I don't know, not quite 200 miles to cover today to get up to Odessa before the afternoon races start, like evening time races. So we'll take a leisurely 3.5-4 hour ride up to Odessa and find our camping spot for up there and hang out for the weekend. It was nice listening to the water last night. Just little gentle waves lapping. All right. Let's start breakfast. Okay, well, good morning, almost afternoon, everyone. I think it's close to noon. We've just taken our time getting packed up and ready to get out of here today. We're rolling out with wet gear and sopping wet everything because it's too humid to dry anything out. So we're going to mosey on out through the mud-covered woods here and see if we get stuck. Sure, we're going to have some mud puddles after 4 inches of rain last night, 4 or 5. Neil shouldn't have any trouble with the little Zuma. It's got chunky tires. This Cubs have got skinny little street tires. They dig in. I didn't charge my comm, so I'm sure it's going to die. Oh, there's the time and the temp for us. It's 11:32 a.m. and 64 degrees out here. And the relative humidity is 99%. I'm sure. Putter, 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 putter. It looks like that was a little campsite at one point. All broken up. Yeah, got all this busted up concrete here where they piled it. And this is paved, but we came across some muddy spots on the way in yesterday, I remember. Neil ran over that big branch, looked back, huh, what was that? Yeah, my Cardo just barked at me, low battery. All right, I'll charge you soon enough. Left? You think? Oh. You sure? You lead. You know where you're going. You came through this way. We followed you in last time. There's pavement that goes around this. I wonder where it goes. Oh, just a loop. Okay. Yeah, on the rocks. Tree. Cool. Just training wheel it and try not to dump it. Oh yeah, all those rocks, I see them, yeah. Yep, it looks like that was a loop that went around back there, but it was blocked by all those big giant boulders and stuff. Here's a boat launch that I guess those boats have been getting in and out with. How's your fuel? Oh, we're still full. That's right. We just stopped at that gas station 10 miles back. Miles back. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's our no camping sign. Pooey to you. Yep, just take us up to the corner at GT and FO and we're good. I said, yeah, just take us up to the corner of GT and FO and we're good. Okay, Neil said he's going to meet us at the gas station. He's going to fill up his coffee or gas, or I don't know what he was doing. Neil's gaining on you. He's gonna pass you. Downshift. Hit the turbo. Hit the nitrous button. Yeah, I like this highway. This is just the right amount of traffic for me. No aggressive a-holes right up my butt. No aggressive a-holes on my a-hole. So, crushing out miles on the super slab on the little super cubs, and zooming 125 up ahead of us. Boring, but we gotta knock down some miles and get up to Odessa before it gets too much later in the day. It's already 4 something, 3 or 4, I don't know. We've got probably another hour and a half to 2 hours ahead of us. The races start around 7 o'clock, I think is what Neil had said. And we're not 100% sure if we can camp at the racetrack, so we might have to look for something nearby there, but no fun. So we're just cruising along at 55 to 60 here on the highway, trying to stay in the right lane. And Adrian's airing out his butt. Just trucking along. Neil's little Zuma 125 gets 60 miles an hour on the flats without any problem every time. Going up hills, he slows down a little bit, but so do we. If we run ours just full tilt boogie, we could probably have about anywhere from 3 to 5 miles an hour headroom above the Zuma's top speed, but we're all pretty closely matched. We're all rocking about 8.5 horsepower. And just putting along, the Cubs are getting triple-digit mileage, and Neil's Zuma is getting about 80, it said 75 to 80 miles to the gallon like this, so good cheap fun. Anyway, here's the road for another 2 hours. I had just shut the camera down. I just shut the camera down. My
10 seconds later, the sleeping bag goes bouncing off of your pack back there. I saw something hit the ground. I couldn't figure out what it was for a second, and then I realized, oh, it's black, it's a bag. Oh, that's the sleeping bag. It survived the tumble too. It's wet, but pushed it back maybe. Did Neil stop? It looks like I see him further up there. Can't tell. Nah, don't worry about it. He'll see that we're not behind him. I'll strap this in. You stay where you're at. I'll figure out a way to secure this. Probably could just sit back on it, but I'll just strap it in on my roll bag here. Just pinch it, and I'll also carabiner this lanyard or loop. I think this bag might be a little wet for you tonight. No, it didn't damage it or anything. You're good. It's wet, so it's slippery, and it just slid and rolled off. It's getting to be a whiteout here. Just all the mist from the cars and stuff. Yeah, I saw something big, black, bouncing across the road. I was like, what the hell would that be? Oh, yeah, I know what that looks like. That looks vaguely familiar. Just not used to seeing it moving at 60 miles an hour on the road. Okay. Now I gotta find a graceful re-entry point to the highway here. Okay, I'm rolling. Go ahead and roll. Yeah, I'm rolling. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I'll stop with you here. No, I got it. I strapped it down in the top compression strap of my roll bag and carabinered it on, so. No, that's okay. You just do your thing. I don't think your drying out your shirt's working anymore, man. Yeah, I had just turned off the camera too. That's funny. Yeah, it's raining good and hard now. This is a couple inches an hour kind of rain. These rain grooves in this concrete are making my tires squirm all around. It feels funny. Yeah, it's like, whoa, why am I going sideways? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Clinton right up here. Yeah, that's fine. We'll see if we can get out of the rain for a little bit and look at the radar, see how it is. If it's looking like it's going to blow out, then we can continue on. Otherwise, we'll find a camping spot around here somewhere. There's no point in going all the way to Odessa. It's probably raining there too, so I doubt it. I mean, sometimes they'll run the World of Outlaws in the rain and the mud, but usually not. It's far too dirty. Dirty enough when it's dry. Of course, I don't know. I don't really watch World of Outlaws all that much. I could be wrong. There was a dirt track, a circle track in Oklahoma City at the fairgrounds near where I grew up, and they didn't run when it was raining, so kind of presuming that'll be the same here. Okay, so we are headed out. We sheltered from the rain over here at Tractor Supply underneath the front of their building, and it's finally stopped raining enough that we'll get back out in it. It was coming down pretty good for a while, probably at least 2 inches an hour. So no point in trying to suffer through that. We just got off the road, regroup, figure out what we're going to do. And of course, it's a good thing that we did. Let's merge out in traffic and not get squished here. Wave thanks at that guy. It's a good thing that we stopped and checked the schedule of events and all that, because the race that we were coming up to see, World of Outlaws, was postponed until spring. Would have been nice to know that before we came all this way up, but oh well. So no World of Outlaws race, so we decided to regroup, and we're going to do a little public land camping down the road here, and then see what tomorrow holds for us. We may just turn around and go back to Eureka Springs in Arkansas and goof around in Arkansas for a day or two and wander around and then head back toward Texas. We don't know. So I'll shut the camera down now, and we'll resume with setting up camp down here in this public area and see how things go. For a gravel road, this is impressively smooth. Yeah, I wouldn't go more than about 20 or so with these tires, because it gives you just enough reaction time to slow down or dab a foot to try to keep the bike upright. I mean, this is pretty smooth. This is a very high quality road here for gravel. I'm surprised. Just got to watch that crown in the middle there, yeah. Bikes are going to be dirty now if they weren't before. Well, it seems like the rain hasn't left us alone yet. Thought it was going to stop, but it's still going. It's just a light rain. Hopefully it'll blow out and finish this. Always sucks setting up camp in the rain, because until you can get the fly on the tent, your tent's getting wet inside. There's a way to cheat that, but it's a little hard with the tents that we have. And as soon as you roll out the tent, you lay the fly over the top of it, and then you just try to work under it to get your poles done. Where the hell is Neil? He took off and left us. He's hauling ass. He's got those he's got those chunky tires with a little bit of knobby on them, so they a little more sure-footed on this stuff. Yeah, we're not squirming too bad. This is real hard-packed, fine gravel, so it's good. It's very good. Yeah, as soon as you, yeah, exactly. As soon as you get cocky, that's when it's going to happen. Yeah, she said it's only about half a mile or a mile down this road, so we should be there. Yeah, she said there's a lake or pond or something down here. Yeah, and the road just kind of leads right over to the water, and we park right there, camp. She said the only other people that come back here are, you know, teenagers smoking doobies and drinking and goofing off, so she said other people camp out here, so that's what we'll do. Yeah, she said it turns to the right, and just take this little road, and it's right there. Yeah, it looks pretty deep and chunky, so I'm just going to training wheel it. If it starts to slide, dab a foot. Yeah, this is the area. She said it's like a big circular turnaround gravel lot, something, and that's where we camp. Yeah, it's just a don't slide, don't dig, don't slide, don't dig. Yeah, it's digging in. Well, I don't think we'll have any problems with flooding our tents like we did last night. This is just going to drain off. Okay then. Well, it's not picturesque, but you know, it'll work, and it's free. Yeah. Just got to figure out where we want to park them. There's a little bit of dirt over there, but I don't know how muddy that's going to be. I don't know. I wonder if this is a lake or what. It's a pretty big pond if it's just a pond. I'm not sure what body of water this is. I'll have to look at it. Oh yeah, it's part of a bigger lake structure. Look at the GPS here. I don't know if you can see it from where you're sitting. Yeah. Here. So it's part of a bigger. It's a big water system here, so I don't know. All right, well, figure out what we're doing. Ugh.